I'm having spinal fusion surgery in 12 days, and it's going to cost over $500,000. To be precise, the estimate is $533,613. And of that amount, I'm going to be responsible for $8,019.86. The $8,000 isn't that much of a surprise. We deliberately chose a high deductible plan. We have a health savings account where we have the money saved. Understandable. How do we get here? Well, I was a student at Vanderbilt University in 1997 getting my master's degree. And in my second year, I started having really bad back and shooting pains down my legs and couldn't figure out what was going on. I went to the student health center and they did what they could, but it wasn't enough. It really didn't change anything. And I finally got them to refer me to the Vanderbilt Spine Center, a very well-known, very highly regarded spine center, and wow, were they amazing. They got an MRI for me, discovered I had a ruptured disc in my back at L5-S1, if you're interested, and that was the source of my pain. It had gotten to the point where I couldn't make it through class. I had to kneel for 3-hour lectures. I couldn't walk across campus. I couldn't sit at home. I couldn't lay down at home. Everything hurt. But once I got to them and they did their diagnosis, it was amazing. I had surgery. They removed the disc and they performed a laminectomy where they removed the bone that kind of covers your spinal cord. All that relieved the pressure on the nerve that was being pinched. And when I woke up in the recovery room, the pain was gone. It was total and it was perfect. My back hurt from the surgery, but my back didn't hurt from the injury. My leg pain was gone. Everything was perfect. Over the next few months, I graduated. We moved to Washington, D.C., and I continued to heal. By the summertime, I was playing softball. By the wintertime, I was playing soccer again. I had once upon a time been a college soccer player and played my whole life. And that was awesome. My original surgeon told me that since I was only 24 years old, that he didn't want to fuse my back because I still had a lot of activity I wanted to do. I wanted to remain very active, and he didn't think it was absolutely necessary. He estimated that by the time I hit my 40s, I would want to get it fused, and so I was expecting that. Well, 40 came and went, 45 came and went, 49 came and went, and throughout that time, I had occasional back pain. There were times when it would flare worse than others, usually when I was doing an activity I wasn't used to. But it was survivable, and most days it was fine. I played soccer into my 40s. I coached high school soccer. I coached high-level club soccer. I was really lucky. The surgery that they gave me was amazing. It fixed it, and it lasted for about 27 years. Once I turned, how old am I now? I'm 51. Once I turned 51, it started to get a little more painful on a daily basis. In the spring of last year, my wife took some time between jobs and we went and explored. We actually did 10 national parks in 11 weeks. We live in a motorhome and we choose to work from the road and travel full time, and it's been amazing. I've been able to stay active and we hike, we explore. It's been amazing. Well, come this spring and we were doing those national parks, I was a little more limited. We still did a lot of hiking, we still did a lot of exploring, but it wasn't quite as easy as it had been. The course of the summer came and things started to take a dip south, and through the fall it got really bad. By the time September, October came, it was really hard to walk. It was very hard to sit again. I didn't have the shooting pain, but the pain in my back became debilitating. When I went to the grocery store, I would have tremendous back pain by the end of it. It became hard to walk by the time I'd leave. If I went shopping or we went for a long walk, if I went more than about a half a mile, I'd be stuck on this couch that I'm sitting in right now for 2 or 3 days, just with overwhelming back pain. Did all the things I could, biofreeze, heating pads, ice, lots of anti-inflammatory drugs and, over-the-counter painkillers. And it helped, but it didn't. I'd always been told that when it's time for you to have your back fused, you would know it. You don't need your back fused until you need to have your back fused. And that's where I am. As we went through the fall, my back got worse and worse. I started to get stuck on this couch more and more. Got to the point where I spent more days here than doing other stuff. And it became clear at that time it was time for a fusion. So my wife took a new job. It's based here in Nashville. And about the same time that she was taking that, we were coming to the conclusion that it was time to have my back fused. So my first surgery was supposed to last about 20 years. It ended up lasting 27, nearly 28 years. And it was fantastic. I mean, like I said, I was free. I was healed. However, now it was time. So thought about it long and hard. We considered going up to Minnesota or Phoenix, where the Mayo Clinic locations are, and having someone take a look at my back there, or coming to Nashville again and having them look at my back where I had my original surgery done, which is ultimately what we chose. It was a fantastic decision. After doing all the research on surgeons, success rates, outcomes, we're in the right place. And I found a doctor that is highly regarded for both his skill and his bedside manner, and I'm super excited to have him work on me again in 12 days. I've been relying on the experience of a lot of people who've put things online, especially on YouTube, and a lot of reading to see what do I need to expect. And I am in awe of the strength of so many of the people that have gone through this, and I hope I can channel 1/10 of the strength of the people that I've seen. I've taken notes on what they've recommended. We have spent a good amount of money on things like knee pillows and grabbers, and I've had to use a cane recently to walk, a portable bidet. Oh my gosh, I can't even, what else, Amy? What am I forgetting? Heating pads, cooling pads, cooling packs, all kinds of stuff that we've gotten, and water bottles that aren't going to dump the water on me if I'm upside down, laying on my back trying to have a drink. It's been a lot. We're going to go tomorrow shopping for a step because my butt is too low compared to the mattress with my feet on the ground, so getting into bed is apparently going to be a little difficult for me. So we're going to get an aerobic step so that I can step up onto it. A lot of prep. We've done a lot of prep, and we're getting ready for it. Amy's company, as I mentioned, I live in a motorhome. It's small, it's cramped. We love it. We've loved what it's done for us, but trying to recover from a surgery where walking is going to be so important and getting space and not tripping is going to be so important. It's not a good place for us. Thankfully, Amy's company has a place we can stay for a couple of weeks. It's a condo that the company uses, and they've so graciously letting us stay there and making their facilities available to us, and it is a godsend. So thankfully, it'll be more like being in a regular house than we've been in for 5 years. One challenge that I personally have, I've for many, many years been working with a diagnosis of clinical depression and generalized anxiety disorder, and they're flaring pretty bad over the last few months. I didn't realize how bad until literally about a week ago. Usually I'm pretty good at recognizing, using my coping mechanisms when my mental health is getting more difficult, and taking steps to make myself weather it better and get through. But this time has been hard. The national news has been difficult to deal with. International news, same. There was a school shooting just a mile from us about a week and a half ago. All those things have really set me off. I've had a really short temper. I've said things that I normally wouldn't say. I've processed things in ways that I normally wouldn't process. And it never occurred to me that this could be my mental health combining with my physical health to make things extra difficult. Recently, I figured that out, and I've never been shy about my mental health struggles. I've always put them out there. I feel like it's an important thing to do to help reduce the stigma that mental health is shrouded by. And I had such amazing outreach from the people that I love. One of my relatives, who is a psychologist, reminded me that there are psychologists who specialize in pain management. And I'm currently looking for one. It's been a little bit of a challenge here in Tennessee, not being from here, but we're going to make that happen. Also using my regular coping mechanisms for my depression and my anxiety to get through stuff. And I'm feeling better. Still kind of cutting off a lot of sources of news and some of the people who tend to dwell on things that I'd prefer not to be dwelled on. But that's okay. Those are the things that I've always done to cope and to get through. It's just the things you need to do when you've had some great therapists and doctors in the past. So it's an anxious time. Can't wait for the surgery. It's going to be something to go through, but we'll make it. and we'll get through on the other side. I'm hoping for the best results. I'm very confident in the doctors that are actually going to be working on me. Got a vascular surgeon and then the orthopedic surgeon who are going to fix me. Looking forward to getting through to the other side. Hoping that this summer I can do some traveling. We're planning on being here on Nashville for sure until early summer. Hoping to get to my 30th college reunion at the end of June. Probably won't be healed by then, and by probably I mean definitely. Hopefully I'll be able to tie my shoes at that point. I feel like my mental health is at least bottomed out. It's still pretty low, but it's no longer going worse. My back pain is still on the slow progression down. It's been just about 10,000 days since my first surgery. And in 12 days, that is going to hit bottom and things are going to start going back up the other direction. So please feel free to subscribe to this channel. We've toyed around with YouTube in the past. We don't really consider ourselves YouTubers and don't consider myself about to start being a YouTuber. But I am going to document this process. I want to help other people as much as the other ALIF surgery, I don't want to call them survivors, but patients and the other spinal fusion patients have helped me, and hoping that just one more voice, maybe adding in my own experience with the mental health aspect, might help out somebody else. So please subscribe, hit the like button, do whatever you're supposed to do. I don't know. And keep in touch. If you're going through this, I'd love to hear from you. If you're about to go through this, I'd love to hear from you. And frankly, you know, if you can make me laugh, that'd be even better. So all is well. Hope everything goes well for you, and I will see you in a little bit. Thanks.